Always looking for magic and mystical things outside of ourselves, like sacred texts or spells or witchcraft or something that leads us to believe in something bigger than us. Because the mysticism there, it's the allure of the things that we may not know, the secret knowledge, the hidden wisdoms. And I feel like a large part of the spiritual community is always looking for that extra little bit of magic outside of themselves that makes things seem more purposeful and more fun and more elusive. And I feel like sometimes when we're searching so hard for the things outside of us, we miss what's right in front of us. We miss the little magics that's in everything. Like, I'm having one of those download days, one of those brain swamp days to where it's like all really good things. But it's like the idea that you have a team. I'm going to push you guys back. The idea that you have a team full of energies who are working in your highest, greatest good, who are out for your growth, your learning, your involvement, and that your team, your guides, your spirits are like nobody else's. They only work with you. They only work for you. That's magic. Like, that's magic. And there's no separation between you and them. And sometimes it's just those little things that I think we're being asked to really tap into. That I think that we're being asked, as a random shadow figure walks by, that we're being asked to like get in touch with, but not in touch with the surface of it, like the inner standing of it. I don't know if anybody ever enjoys the mystery of letting your team lead, in the sense of you give them permission to guide you towards something. And it was taught to me as like a bookstore challenge. You go to a bookstore, you let your guides direct you to the aisle and the book, and you grab the book, open it up, fan it, no questions asked, yes or no. 2:52 on the clock. I do that with movies sometimes. I don't know if anybody else does that with movies. And I like using YouTube because they're the cheesiest, corniest movies that nobody has ever heard of, let alone seen or watched. So you have no notion what the movie's about, and you don't know who's acting in it, and you don't know who's playing in it, and you don't even know if it's going to be good or if it's going to be some like low-grade Japanese Christian kind of movie where the words and the sound doesn't necessarily match up with the lips. Like, you could be in for a whole mess. But there's a part of trusting the magic and trusting the team that happens there, which is just, it's great. But I did that, and I watched a movie, and there was this line in the movie, and you ever just know when your team leads you somewhere and they just lead you there for one line, they just lead you there for one chapter, they just lead you there for one scene, for one moment, and it's like, oh shit. I'm going to share the quote with you. And it was like, she was like, somebody asked like how she can believe in magic, purpose, destiny, and still believe in a God or a universe or a source or a spirit or a great creator. And this actor was like, oh, well, whoever the thing was in the movie was like, oh, well, God created all things. It's the humans that judge which one is the mistake. What? I don't know if that hits anybody else. And switch out universe, creator, spirit, source for God if it makes you more comfortable. But that's just what the quote was. God created all things. It's humans who judge which one was the mistake. There are no coincidences. We say this all the time. There are no coincidences. Which means you're not a mistake. Which means your life isn't a mistake. Which means everything you've come up against isn't a mistake. And the things that are around you have a purpose, and they're designed to function in their essence. But it's our humanness, our egos, our brains that try to make sense of something that is larger than us. So we limit it when we don't understand it. Because we're understanding under the weight of the brain and not understanding from the soul. I don't know who needs to hear this, and I don't necessarily know why I'm even sharing it. But this was just one of the many weird things that popped in over the last 4 or 5 hours. And I just don't stop loving people. Don't stop loving people because something didn't work out. I don't know who needs to hear that, but when you stop loving things or people, the only person you're slighting is yourself. The only person you're slighting is yourself. The only thing you're harming is you. Because you're denying yourself a piece of your essence. I just feel like this is really important for somebody. I just feel like this is so important. And I can't really understand right now why. So I'm just going to put this here, leave this here. And I hope, I know this will find who it needs to find. And it's not going to be for everybody. 7:27 on the clock. It's not going to be for everybody, and that's okay. Because part of the magic is trusting that it's going to find who it needs to find, because that's the way your teams work. Because that's the way the universe works. There was a small thunder rumble in the background when I said that, which is so cool. So I really hope that's on the video. But I will see you guys later. Have a great 4th of July. Bye, B.